Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back. I know it's been a little while, but we're here to do some intermediate CSS tonight. See how that goes. Alright, let's see who we have in the chat tonight. Oh wow, we have a few. I'd imagine probably won't have a whole because it's been a few days since we've actually streamed. But we'll see how it is here in probably a few more minutes. Get some time to catch up. I hope you all had a pretty good week. Give me a second. I'm gonna get water. Probably hit that like 5 more times. Okay. Oh, it's been while. I've missed you all. But it's been well, it's always a hell of a week. But you know, it's only Tuesday, so we'll see how this week goes. Okay, well, I think I see a few people that have been on some of our common users, viewers. So 3 minutes passed, so we could probably start going ahead. Alright, so what am I hitting? Oh. It's like, what was my foot kicking? It's a power cord. So let's go ahead and switch the screen. There we go. I think it was stuck on the screen for a while because I've already closed some of the stuff I wasn't even going to be using. Yeah, I hope you all are doing well. Alright, so getting started now. This is kind of a preview of what we're going to be building. Making a Picasso piano, apparently, is what this mess of things are called. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. I think we're good. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Okay. All right, let's move this over a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, start coding. So step 1, same things, doing the boilerplate, setting up the doc type, HTML, then we have the HTML plus the lang equals en, okay, close that HTML off. And then let's throw in the head. And then, of course, we have our body. Okay, there we go. First done. Second, use the head element, add a meta tag with the char set, title for Picasso painting. So, okay, so we do the meta, char set equals UTF-8, and then we will do a self-closing and title Picasso painting. Oh, there we go. So we now have that out of the way. Everyone should already know how to be doing that. So go ahead and link your CSS file. So link relation style sheet, and then we will do the href with styles.css self-closing. Okay. Man, already on step 4, taking like just getting super quick on this. So now, here we go. Learning about some fun, awesome. So this is that, it'll probably explain it more, but SVG powered icons, many of which are freely available to use. You'll be using some of these icons in the project, so you'll need to link the external style sheet to your HTML. So this is one of the most important, because this is where, you know, your Facebook icons come in. You know, you got, you know, Google, you got, you know, your YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, just all those kind of little icons that you see on websites. This is where it's derived from. And you can download the style sheet itself, or you can go ahead and, you know, you can link to the site, to the CSS site itself, which is what it's doing in here. So if we do the link relation as a style sheet, href, and then we add the font awesome. text here. So now everything that we add in here, if we use specific syntax, we'll be able to add icons and that sort of stuff, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead, submit challenge. Alright, so now we're in the styles. So get your painting started, give your body an element, body element, a background, color of RGB, 184, 132, and 4046. Come on, there we go. Nice. Very subtle color. It's really nice. Okay, so we'll check that out. Submit. Cool. So, not bad. Let's go ahead and see what else we got. So we make a div element, give it an ID of back wall. Okay. So div. There we go. So we gave it ID. Now within here, give the back wall. So remember, hashtag for IDs, back wall, and then we will give this a background color of hashtag 8B4513. There we go. Okay. Now I'm sure we're gonna have to, yeah, width of 100% and a height of 60%. So 100%, height of 60%. There we go. There's our back wall. Done. Going to that next challenge. HTML is rendered in top-down manner. Elements at the top of the code are positioned at the top of the page. However, many times you may want to move the elements to different positions, right? You can do it with the position property. Set the position property of the back wall element to absolute. Okay, so position absolute. All right, an absolute position takes the element out of that top-down document flow and allows you to adjust it relative to its container. Okay. When an element is manually positioned, you can shift its layout with top, left, right, and bottom. Set the back wall element to have a top value of 0 and a left value of 0. So it'll probably move it like right in this corner right here. Like top in that top left corner. So top 0, see, and then we have left 0. There you go. See, looks good. Go on to the next challenge. All right, see, this back wall has already got a decent amount of properties to it. So z-index, as we did previously in a previous video, the z-index property is used to create layers for your HTML elements. If you're familiar with the image editing tools, you may have worked with layers before. This is a similar context. So elements with a higher z-index will appear to be layered on top of the elements with a lower z-index on top of elements with a lower z-index. Okay, this can combine with the positioning in the previous lesson to create unique effects, right? Since the back wall elements will need to appear behind the other elements, you would want to give the back wall element a z-index of -1. So z-index -1. So a big thing about these z-indexes is used in Google Maps. How they do, like, you know, those buttons on top of the map itself. So we could say that that z-index of the map, the whole map, would be a -1, and then everything else would have layers on top of that. And then you would have, like, you know your little guy that you can just drag and drop. Why it's hovering over, that map and stuff, it's probably due to a z-index. And you have all the buttons or whatnot for location and, you know, street view, like, you know, looking at pictures, all that. That's all, like, you know, made with Z indexes. So Z indexes are very, very important thing to know about, especially like if you got like a scrolling horizontal scrolling header, like the header that's fixed on top of the page. Like if it wants to follow, that would, you know, you'd want that Z index to be on top of everything, so that way, you know, it's always going to be, you know, stuck there at the top, and you know it's not going to get behind behind anything. So that's Z indexes. Below your back wall, create a div with a class of characters. This is where you'll be creating your paying characters. So okay, so div class characters. All right, so that's good right there. So inside the characters element, create a div with an ID of off-white character. So div class off-white character. Okay. Oh, that's why. I was like, what the heck? We're good. Oh. There we go. Oh, ID. Duh. Okay. So ID of off-white character. There we go. Not a class like we did with the characters. So there'd be an ID of off-white character. So okay. So create 4 div elements inside your off-white character. So div div. It's good typing practice. So I mean, like, if anything, it just kind of helps to get more used to the arrows, the angle brackets. All right, so do the ID of white hat, white hate. Don't want to do that. Black mask. Okay, and then this ID of gray instrument. Then we have this one with a ID of tan table. All right, cool. So we got these 4 made, looking good. Phone buzzed at me. Okay. Needs eyes. Okay. So white hat, black mask. Okay, so within the black mask, we will need a div with class eyes left. Okay. All right. Div. Okay. Then we have another div with a class with eyes right. And then we will close off that div. And we're good. So now we've made our left and right eyes. Okay. Create some dots for the instrument. Add 5 div elements with your gray instrument. Within your gray instrument element. So div. So instead of having to do that, okay, so class black. Oh, don't want to do that. Black. black dot. Alright, so we will have 5 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hate that it indents like that automatically. What a pain. All that stuff that I was saving, all that time saving is just trying to go back into doing this. Okay. That should work. Okay. Black dots. Maybe I could just hit next and it'll just correct it all itself instead of having to do this each time. I mean, just thinking, like, it'd probably be the best idea. So using an ID selector, create a rule for the element with the ID off-white character. So start off with that. So off-white character, and then give it a width of 300 pixels, a height of 550 pixels, and a background color of ghost. Ooh, we don't want that. Ghost white. There we go. So there we are. We have that. And it's looking good. Oh. What's going on? Joshim? Oh, okay. I remember now. I know. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it still close enough. Okay. So, off-white character in place by giving it a position of absolute, so I need to figure out a place where I want this to be. I hope I didn't screw anything up with that. So, position, we'll do the absolute. No, with a top value of 20%. Okay. And a left of 17.5%. Nice. So that's all right. So we'll check that code. Use an ID selector style the element with an ID white hat. So, okay. So, white hat. Sheesh. Give it a width. And, okay, of 0. And height of 0. And a border style of solid. Okay. Wow, what a hat. It's very small. That doesn't look quite right. Set a border width of 0, 120 pixel, 140 pixel, and 180 pixel to size the hat properly. Okay. So we'll do border width of 0, 120 px, 140 pixels, and 180 pixels. There we go. Sheesh. Well, look at that. It now has a hat. Now you have a large box. Give it a border top color. Okay. Top color. Border right color and border left color of transparent. Wait. So could I just do a border color and then just go with the top being transparent parent. Transparent. I don't know if this is right. And then ghost white. No, that wouldn't be that way. It would be top, right, down. So it'd be right here. Ghost, what? Oh no, white, and then transparent. Can I do it that way? Oh, crap. Wait, hold on. Did that work? It wasn't. Hold on, let's go back real quick. Oops. Didn't mean to pull open the console. But yeah, I have got to figure that out real quick. So if you do a border color shorthand, great. Transparent, ghost, white, and then transparent. So you can manually color each side, so the top, the right, the bottom, and left in a clockwise pattern. So you hit enter, and we got it. Okay. Wanted to kind of go more over it, and of course it doesn't like the shorthand, so apparently had some time to kind of sit there and register, like, wait a minute, this is shorthand. I gotta change this. So, all right. So after it types it all out, give the hat a position. Absolute. And a top value of negative 140 pixel. And a left value of 0. Okay. Huh. Just trying to understand, I guess, a little bit of what's all happening. Okay. I think I'm getting it. Ooh. I think I'm getting it. I think I understand just a bit. So, use an ID selector. Create a rule for the element with the black mask. So, okay. So, black mask. Give it a width of 100%. And then a height of 50 pixels. And a background color RGB 45 31 19. Okay. Nice. We have now built a, looks to be kind of like a little tower. Okay. But it's supposed to be a black mask, not a tower. Give the mask a position of absolute, a top set to 0, and a left set to 0. Okay. Whew. To ensure you can see the mask, give it a z-index of 1. Okay. There we go. I mean, obviously, really isn't a whole lot of change, but It's is now so the z index of the back wall is a -1, so this is always going to be in the background, and then this mask is set to a 1, so that way it's always going to be on top. Okay. Man. Thing is, I can only have coffee in the morning. There's no way I could do it any time in like the afternoon or anything. So, you know, after that, that's just how it is. Definitely could get tired, especially when you have like a long day at work. Whew. Use an ID selector, give the element with the ID gray instrument. ID, oh no. Gray instrument. A width of 15%. Okay. And the height of 40 pixels. 40%. Duh. Sorry. Background. Color of RGB. 167, 162, and 117. Okay. There we go. Just plugging it in. Off to the next challenge. Alright, now move it into place with a position, obviously, of absolute. Top, 50 pixels, and a left of 125 pixels. Okay. Okay, so this is the hat. This is the gray instrument, even though it doesn't really look gray. Then you have the body. Okay, so next challenge. Set this one to the Z index of 1. So we want to make sure that the mask and this is both on the same index. Submit. Use a class selector to create a rule for the elements with black dot. Okay, so now black dot, width set to 10 pixels. Oh, I was sitting there for a second. I was like, what? Oh gosh. Okay. So width, took me a second. Wait, height, 10 pixels. And background color, set to RGB, 453119. And then we will close this. Okay. I assume we can't see the black dot. Oh. It's a class. Okay. That's why. So there we go. These dots are just a little too square. Give the black dot class a border radius of 50%. There we are. Perfect. Challenge, move the dots into place by setting the display to block. Alright. Okay, display block. Margin to auto. Margin top to 65%. There we go. Okay. Submitting and go into the next challenge. So use an ID selector to style the element with the ID tan table. Tan table? Okay. Give it a width of 450 pixels, a height of 140 pixels, and a background color of D2691E. There you go. Now, how is the tan table? How is the tan table on this face? Makes no sense. Because this is a character, right? Huh. Move the table into place by giving it a position of absolute. Alright. Top 275 pixels. Left 15 pixels. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this develops. Jeez, man. See if I can get through this whole thing without, like, just passing out. Text of 1 with as much as I'm yawning. Alright. So Z index of 1. After your div off-white character element, add a div. Okay. A div with the ID of black character. Okay. Alright. Within your new black character element, add 3 divs. Okay. So we'll go ahead and copy this. 3. There we go. And then ID of black hat. ID of gray hat. Oh, mask. Okay. And then ID of white paper. Okay. So maybe go to the next challenge. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good now. We're making some good progress. We're on step 36 already. Not too bad. For all of you that's kind of following along, you know, good job for making it this far. So this mask needs eyes. So for the gray, add 2 div elements. Okay. With the class set to eyes. Okay. So class set to eyes left. Okay. And we'll do end this div. Then we add another one for a div. That will be a class eyes right. Okay. There we go. So we got that. So time to use some font awesome icons. The eye element is used for idiomatic text or text that is separate from the normal text content. This could be for italic text such as scientific terms, or for icons like those provided by Font Awesome, right? So within your white paper element, add 4 eye elements, give them all a class value of FAS, FA Music. So we're going to now make the Font Awesome icons, and it's actually really easy after you had imported, you know, that link at the top to reference. So now all we gotta do is we add an eye element, right? But we give it a class because now there are specific classes that are designated to Font Awesome. So FAS, Font Awesome, and then FA-music. See? Now you can see at the top left, they're right here. So now, okay. So we'll do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So now we have 4 going across. Now, this special class is how Font Awesome determines which icon to load. FAS indicates the category of icons, so Font Awesome Solid here, while FA Music selects the specific icon. Yep, so the Font Awesome Solid, so it gives it a solid background, and FA Music. So if you took away the FAS, see, as you can tell, there is nothing there. It just has like a square. But if obviously if you add that FAS back again, now you have your icon. So check that. All good. Okay, so use an ID selector to create a rule for the element with the black character. So black character. Set the width to 300 pixels and a height of 500 pixels, and the background color to RGB 453119. There we go. We done? Okay. So now we have that. Let's move the black character. So position absolute, and then the top will be set to 30% and the left to 59%. There we go. So now we moved it over here. Let's check that. All good. Going to the next one, already on step 40. Doing really good. Little mini break. Okay. Whew. Glad to see you guys all still sticking around. appreciate it. I know probably some of it might be a little bit boring, but you know, when you're learning, I mean, there's a lot of things that can be, you know, tedious, boring, but you're also learning a lot of different stuff. So just remember that. Like a lot of stuff you never even thought of before. And the more you're learning, the more better you're getting. The more you keep doing this, the better you're retaining that information will be. So, alright. Let's do the ID selector to create a rule for the element with the black hat. Okay, so we'll go ahead and give this the black hat. Not the black hat from Spider-Man. Black hat, give it a width of 0, a height of 0, and a border style of solid. Okay. And I assume we're going to do something similar to what we did at the top. So border width will be set the black hat to 150 pixels, 0, 0, 300. Okay. Pixels. No, not PZ. Oh, that's why. My finger wasn't in the right place. I was like, what's going on? Okay, so we got this. We're good? Good? Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So just with your white hat, you should style the border of the black hat element, give it a border top color, border right color, and border of transparent. Set the border left color to RGB. Let's do this. So we'll get there when we get there. So we'll do the border. It'll probably correct me, but border color. And so transparent, and then the left, which will be RGB 4531 and 19. There. All good. Okay. So submit to next challenge. 43. Now position the black hat element. So give it a position of absolute. And then we'll give it a top of 150 pixels and negative 150. I get that 150. And the left of 0. Now remember this this obviously when you're coding and doing putting this stuff in, you're never gonna always get it right. You know, this probably took a little while to, you know, develop this whole learning environment. So when you're actually doing stuff, it's gonna take a lot longer. Unless, you know, you got an envision in your head and you know exactly what, like, you know, how you're wanting to put this laid out. So, you know, if you do that, bravo to you. Okay, so we'll clear on that. Use an ID selector. Okay. Style the element with the gray mask. Okay. Give it a width of 150 pixels, a height of 150 pixels, and a background color of RGB 167. Oh my god. 67 162 62 117. Whew, took a little hard there for a second for that type in. Alright, so now obviously we gotta position this. So absolute, and the top is going to be top -10 pixels, and left is going to be 70 pixels. There we go. So if you notice, a lot of these things, you know, how this right here is the table is over these two. Well, that's because it's the z-index of 1. The z-index currently of these is 0. So obviously these are going to be shown on top. Which is why when we made this fell in behind this table right here that we made. Okay, so now we are going to do the white paper. Set the width to 400 pixels. And then the height, set that to 100 pixels. And the background color is set to ghost white. There we go. Look at that. Now we got the white paper here. All right. Now give that white paper a position of absolute, a top of 250 pixels, and a left of negative 150 pixels. There we go. Okay. So we're done on that. So set the Z index of the white paper element to 1. There we go. So these are on the same level. All right, submit to the next page. All right, font awesome icons come with their own styling to define the icon. However, you can still set the styling yourself as well. So to change things like the color and size, for now use a class selector to target the icons with class FA Music. Okay, so FA-music, which is the font awesome already defined font awesome class, and then let's just give it a display inline block margin top set to 8%, and margin left set to 13%. There you go. So basically each element is going to be a little bit off from each other. Okay. So now we're on 50. Below your black character element, give 2 new divs. These will be the shawl. Give both of them a class of blue. Then give the first one an ID. Okay, so ID blue left. Okay, so div, and then this one will be ID with a blue right, the class of blue. There we go. Whew. Okay. So we'll submit, go to the next challenge. So use a class selector to target the new elements with the class blue. Okay. And set the background color to 1E90FF. Okay. So the blue is now set to that color. Set the element with the ID. So blue left. Set that to the width of 500 pixels and a height of 300 pixels. There we go. Okay. Now set the position to absolute. Top, set to 20%. And left, set to 20%. There we go. You know, hard, man. The main takeaway is it's teaching that all about positioning and z-index. Because the rest of these you've the rest of these you've already pretty much done before. Although I will say the border widths and that sort of stuff is a little new. You know, in the way of transparency and, you know, making them do different things. So, and make different shapes. So ID with target in the next blue, right, ID with a width 400 pixels and the height will be 300 pixels. There we go. Okay. Then we're gonna probably position, yes, position again to absolute with the top set to 50% and the left set to 40%. There we go. Of all honesty, I don't even know what's happening with this. I mean, we're making what it was in the, you know, the preview, so at least that works. So now, below the blue elements, give another div and give it an ID value of orange character div. Okay. Done. Within the orange character element, add 4 div elements, give them ID values of black, round hat. So div, div. So black. Ooh. No, ID. Ah, okay. Gotcha. So there. So 4 divs, IDs of black, round, hat, ID of eyes, div, ID of triangles, and an ID of guitar. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we can go to the next challenge. To 58. So for the eyes div, element should hold some eyes. Add 2. Oh. Duh. Okay, so 2 div elements, right? And then we're gonna have to give it the class eyes left. Sheesh. Div. And then div class eyes right. Div. Okay, must hit 10 o'clock. My time. Sure did. My watch likes to beep at me. There we go. All right. So now we have the left and right eyes within the triangle. We need to add elements that will become your triangles. Create 30 div elements and give each them the class triangle. Triangle. $30. Alright, so let's try this. So we have 5. Nope. No. So we have 5 here, right? So let's just do this. Speed this up a little bit. Grab these. Okay, so now 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna throw these in here. There we go. Throw this one back in there. Okay, so we have 30. 30 triangles. Sheesh. Okay, within the guitar elements, create 3 div elements. Give the first 2 a class value of guitar. So guitar. Okay. Okay. 2 guitar. And then add thing give div. Alright, give the first 2 class guitar, then give an element ID of guitar left, guitar right. So, okay. ID guitar left. Okay, and then this one will have the ID of guitar right. Okay, and then this one will have ID of guitar neck. Okay. Yep, and the third ID should not have the guitar class. And we are golden. Okay. So within the guitar left, use another fun, awesome icon. Okay. So FAS. Oh, class. FAS. Okay. FA bars. Okay. Can I just make that? believe you could just do that. Class FAS FA bars. Okay. So I guess you'll need closing elements. They're self-closing, unless you did something like this is a bar, and then you went like I. So I guess that makes sense. You have to add the I, so that way it knows where it's ending. So they aren't so they aren't self-closing. You actually have to close these. So select your orange character element. Okay, so orange character ID selector, give it a width of width of 250 pixels, a height of 550 pixels, and a background color of RGB 240, 78, and 42. There we go. And we're going to probably position this with a top of 25%, left of 40%. Okay, should be good. You're just throwing things on top of each other. I don't even know how this is even a painting. You can't convince me that this is an actual, like, I mean, I guess it's art, but it's like, how, I don't know. Okay. So go ahead, submit. Still style the element with the ID black round hat. Okay. And then the width to 180 pixels. Then we have the height to 150 pixels. And the background color set to RGB 453119. There we go. Okay, so it gives us our hat. And we will... black round hat, of course, has to be round, so border radius set to 50%. To fix that, okay? Okay. So we can go to the next challenge. Move the black round hat element to place with a position absolute top of -100 pixels and left 5 pixels. Okay. Okay. Put the background element on the background hat element on the correct layer with a Z index of -1. Okay. Right. That's where it belongs. Use an ID selector to create a rule for the element with the ID eyes div. Okay. Where? Oh. Eyes div. Okay. And set the width to 180 pixels and the height to 50 pixels. Okay. And then now move the eyes div element position to absolute. And then top set to -40. Man, you guys should already know this by now. What we're like, you know, it always comes right after. Let me do that width and height. Now, the Z index is going to 3, so this should be on top of everything else. So nice. Target the element with the ID triangles using the ID selector. Triangles. And set the width to 250 pixels and a height of 550 pixels. Okay. Now create a class selector for the elements with the triangle class, so triangle, and set the width to 0 and the height to 0. And I think this is gonna be border width, this next one. So border style solid. Okay, so border style solid. Okay. And then border width 42 pixels, 45 pixels, 45 pixels, and 0. Okay. Looking good. Give your triangle elements the correct color. Set the border top color. So these will be transparent. So border color, border, so the right, so transparent. Now gold, transparent. There we go. Cool. Oh, oops. Just kind of simple, easy stuff. Adjust the layout of the triangle elements with the display of inline blocks. So, display line block. There we go. So they're not made out as block elements. Okay. Now use an ID selector for guitar. Alright. And set the width to 100% and the height to 100 pixels. Okay. Position that absolute. Absolute. And then make it top to 120 pixels and left to 0 pixels. Alright, so there we have our bars. I'm really trying to understand. Okay. You know, that's the thing about, or I guess you could just interpret however you want. So, the guitar, make that Z index a 3. Okay. Alrighty. So now, use a class selector to target guitar. And style the 2 halves of your guitar. Set the width to 150 pixels. The height, oh my gosh. Height to 120 pixels. Background color set to goldenrod. Okay. And the border radius set to 50%. Okay. Alright. Set the ID with the value guitar left. And set the position to absolute left 0 pixels. Okay. There we go. I was like, where is that? Check it. Cool. Cheeks. Well, one of them's already gone. Alright, so this guitar right. Let's throw this. Guitar right. We'll go ahead and set that position to absolute, and the left. So I believe the top, no, we'll make the left to 100 pixels. All right, there you go, dude. And I can even give it a nice solid nice outline for you. So let's throw that through. All right. So need to move the bar icons into place, create a class selector for FA bars. All right. Display that to a block. Nope. There we go. To a block, make the margin top to 30%. Okay. And margin left to 40%. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to use an ID selector, create a rule for the guitar neck. So guitar neck. Set the width to 200 pixels and the height to 30 pixels and the background color to D 691E. There we go. Check that code. Looks good. Alright, so there's the guitar neck, there's the brass bars, there's the bars, and then position, absolute, and then top value of 45 pixels, and left value of 200 pixels. There we go. Ah, okay. So, there you go. Kind of looks like the guitar. Starting to see some things, I guess, coming along. So we'll give the guitar element the Z index of 3. So that way it's always on top. We should be good. Check it. Alright, go into the next challenge. So now we have the eyes class. So we made that in eyes. And we'll do the 35 width, 35 pixels, and height to 20 pixels, and the background color set to hashtag 8B4513. Okay. And the border radius set to 20%, or 20 pixels and 50%. There we go. Check it. Cool. Target the class value right, so right, gosh darn it. Okay, hold on. Let's do no, right. And now position that to salute, top set to 15 pixels, right set to 30 pixels. Okay. Okay. And then we'll do the same with the left. So left. We'll go position, absolute, and then top set to 15 pixels. And then left set to 30 pixels. There we go. There we go. Now, one last step. We're going to go ahead and font icons are a little too small, so we'll go ahead and increase the font size to 30 pixels. So we gotta do the font awesome selector, and then increase the font size to 30 pixels. There we go. So with that, it's done. Which, you know, I guess Picasso had a certain knack for very just out there paintings, designs. But in that style, this concludes this portion of advanced CSS. I believe go on to the next one. So the next one we'll actually build is an actual piano right here, as you can see, with the logo on the side for the icon. I would say, hold on a minute, going back through here, we just did the intermediate, but now we have learn responsive design by building the piano. So this will show us a better way to implement the responsive design. CSS to code a piano. You'll also learn more about media queries and pseudo selectors. Okay, and then of course after that we'll have another certification project, making the technical documentation page, and then so we'll have 2 more certification projects after that, and then we should be done with responsive design and moving on to JavaScript algorithms and data structures. So that'll actually be the portion where we actually start learning how to do object-oriented programming and being able to actually get our feet with actual code and programming your page. So yeah, so the next one we'll be doing is building the piano. Throw that on here. So we finished at about an hour and a half, so that's not bad. So I hope you learned some decent stuff in here. I mean, it wasn't really too overwhelming. It's just a bunch of stuff that we've already been doing, but you know, we've been pushing forward a lot of positioning this tutorial. We've been doing a lot of more or less just the same stuff. Positioning, learning more about the Z index and how much that contributes. And yeah. Of course, doing the boilerplate and, you know, learning the design, and how, you know, putting various divs in here does different things. So, yeah, I think we did pretty well. So the next time we meet, we'll go ahead and learn responsive design by building this piano, which probably shouldn't take too long, I would imagine. I'd have to look again at how many steps there were on this. It didn't seem like a whole lot, just 33, which that's not really that bad at all. Well, technically, it's only 10:27, so we could go ahead and just finish this up, and the next time we meet, we could actually start on the technical documentation page. So, I mean, it's only 33, so that's not a whole lot, so we might as well just, might as well get through that portion, because that technical documentation page will take up the whole time we're together, probably maybe a little longer, so we'll have to see on that. And if we just go by next time for 33, I mean, that probably wouldn't even last us that long anyway. So I would say, why don't I guess it could be up to everyone, like what they want to do. If you want, we can continue on, get the 33 done, do that, you know, the technical documentation page the next time, or we could just go ahead and just do the 33 the next time. and then, you know, kind of like a light study session, and, you know, then we can just do the technical documentation page after that. I just feel like if we do the 33, it's definitely not going to fill in a whole lot of time. Well, so you know what? I say it's only 33 steps. And it honestly wouldn't probably take us that long because we've already been doing a lot of the responsive design as it is. So I think we can finish that pretty quick. And it shouldn't take us like a whole lot of time. So yeah, let's just go ahead and just do the small bit. And then, you know, the next time we can just go hard at it into the technical documentation page. So we'll go ahead and just build this small project real quick. So first things first, like always, the doc type, HTML, lang, width it, en, HTML. Okay. Go ahead with the head. Body. Okay. And then we add title. That would be piano. There we go. So easy enough. Add 2 meta tags. As your page for mobile devices and 1 specify accepting char set. So char set UTF-8 meta name. Okay, so name would be viewport, and then we have the content being width equal device width, and then initial scale will be 1.0, and then there we go. So now we have those in there for mobile devices. So time to start working on the piano. Create the div. Went with your body element with the ID set to piano. Within your own ID. Set to piano. Okay. There we go. So we did that. Off to the next. Next, the second div within your existing div, and set the class to be keys. Man. There we go. Okay. So we're good there. So piano keys, within your keys element, add 7 div elements, give them all the class key. So div class key. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do 7 of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Got 7 keys. Alright, remember that a class attribute can have multiple values. To separate your white keys from your black keys, you'll add a second class value, black key. Add this to your second, third, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So, second. So black key. So second, third, black key, second, wait, no. I'm gonna take this. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that out. Second, third, wait, no, oh my gosh, it's right here. I did second, third, get myself confused. Second, third, fifth, and sixth key. There we go. Here's seventh. Oh, and the seventh key. Duh. There we go. We're good. Okay. So then go on that. So now step 7. Now copy this set of 7 key elements and paste 2 more sets into the keys div. Okay. So 1, 2. 2 more sets. There we go. So now add a link element with your element. Okay, so link, style sheet, href, styles.css. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Looks good. So we go to the next challenge. So now we're on step 9. Okay. Just pushing through. So browsers can apply default margin and padding values to specific elements to make sure your piano looks correct. You need to reset the box model. So HTML, box sizing, border, box. There we go. Now, they have reset the HTML box model. You need to pass that on to the elements within as well. To do this, you can set the box sizing property to inherit, which will tell the target elements to use the same value as the parent element. You will also need to target the pseudo elements, which are special keywords that follow a selector. 2 elements we'll be using are the before and after pseudo elements. The before selector creates a pseudo element, which is the first child of the selected element, while the after selector creates a pseudo element, which is the last child of the selected element. These pseudo elements are often used to create cosmetic content, which you will see later in this project. For now, create a CSS selector to target all elements with. Okay. So all elements, and include the pseudo elements with before and after. So before and no, there we go. box sizing is going to be inherit. Okay. Okay, so everything before and everything after. One inherit. Okay. The parent element. So the before and after, the two elements we will be using are the before and after. So the before creates a pseudo element which takes the first child of the selected element. After it creates the selected element. Okay. Okay. So it's kind of like last of type, kind of, or first of type. Although it uses before and after. That's what it sounds like to me. Now target your piano element with an ID selector. Set background color property to 00471B. Now the width property will be set to 992 pixels, and the height will be set to 290 pixels. There we go. All right. So now set the margin of the piano to 80 pixels, so up and down, and auto from left and right. Okay. So now time to style the keys. Below the piano rule, target the .keys class. Give the new rule a background color property of, wish I could type, that'd be nice, 040404. There we go. And a width property, no, of 949 pixel, and height of 180 pixels. There we go. We'll probably have to position these. Maybe. Give the keys a padding left 2 pixels. Okay. So we're good there. Move the keys in the position by adjusting the piano selector. Set the padding property to padding 90 pixels from top, 20 pixels from the right, 0 from the bottom, and 20 pixels from the left. Okay, so we just use padding. Check that. Alright. Time to style the keys themselves. Create a class selector for the key element. Background color. Set the value to FFF. Could do it like this, but also we could just give it a 6. The position probably set to relative. Width property set to 41 pixels, and the height property set to 25. There we go. Wow. All right. So what we got that. See, we're actually almost halfway there, so this was pretty good to do. Give the key a margin of 2 pixels and a float property set to the left. Wow. That looks, wow, looks nice and even. So from the left, it just keeps pushing all of them over, which makes sense. Okay. All right, spin go. All right. Now it's time to use pseudo selectors you prepared for earlier. To create the black keys, add a new .key .black key. So I definitely have to put that after. Selector, this will target the elements with the class key black key, right? And select the pseudo element after these elements in the HTML. In the new selector, set the background color to 1D1E22. Okay. And content property set to that. This will make the pseudo elements empty. And the elements will not be rendered to the page. Setting the content property to an empty string. By default, oh wait, okay, hold on. This will make the pseudo elements empty. The content property is used to set or override the content of the element. By default, the pseudo elements created by the before and after pseudo are empty, and the elements will not be rendered to the page. Right? Setting the content property to an empty string will ensure the element is rendered to the page while still being empty. If you like to experiment, try removing the background color property and setting different values for the content property, such as, remember to undo these changes when you're done so the test passes. So remove the background color property. Okay. Okay, come on. So remove that, comment it out, and put this in there. Okay, I guess I have to make a multi-line comment for some reason. So all right, so oh, it's probably after, so it's over here. Okay. All right. I mean, I get what it's trying to say, but it's not really visually very noticeable. So let's just go ahead, check that. Key by key after. Okay. All right, so now it's done. So Oh. Alright. So these are the black keys right here. And it puts that space in here after the black key, or after the key with the black element. Okay. Makes sense. So now give the black key position absolute left property set to this one minus 18 pixels. Okay, good there. After set the width to 32 pixels and the height to 100 pixels. There we go. So instead of making it over here at the end after, it'll just shift it over by 18 pixels. And the width will be 32, and the height will be 100 pixels. Okay. Which makes this piano. Nice. Okay, so now 10 more steps to go. The piano needs to be a FreeCodeCamp logo to make it official. So within... Hey, thanks for the sub. Who was that? That was Goblin? Was that Goblin? Yeah. Thank you for the, well, not sub, but thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. So, the adding an image element before your keys element. So give the image a class of logo. So an image class logo, and then set the source. We will set this to this picture, this SVG. Okay, that is massive. And then an alt text of FreeCodeCamp logo, and then close. It's massive, just massive. So we can start styling the logo using the logo selector. Okay, and set the width to 200 pixels with a position of absolute, and top set to 23 pixels. Okay, there we are. The image element needs its parent to have a position set as a point of reference. Set the position set as a point of reference. So position set to relative. Okay. So its parent needs to have a relative in order for the child element to have an absolute position. I don't think that's right. I don't think we had to do that the last time. Whatever. Okay. So we'll check the code. Looking good. To smooth the sharp edges, yeah, so we got to give this a border radius of, it wants it 10 pixels. So okay, so now we took out the sharp edges on the sides for piano. And then 25, give the key selector a border. Can't forget the keys. Border radius value of 0, 0, 3px, 3px. There we go. On the insides there, as you can tell. Okay. So the key, and then I believe the keys should have some, right? Give the after border radius of 0. So border radius, can't forget these, 0, 0, 3px, 3px for 3 pixels. So the two on the top, the edges are still kind of sharp, but at the bottom, that's where all the that's where the radiuses come in. Still wild to just see how well this is coming along. So we'll check that. Alrighty. So now we have the @media rule. So we did this during our last project, certification project that we did. The media rule customizes the screen for the screen width and resolutions. Known as media queries, is used to conditionally apply CSS. Media queries are commonly used to apply CSS based on the viewport width using the max width and mid width properties. In both examples, the padding is applied to the card class when the viewport is 960 pixels wide and below. So add a media query that will be applied when the viewport is 768 pixels wide and below. So at media max width 768. Oh wait, no, 68 pixels. And then wide and below. Okay, so we have that. The width is 768 and below. So now we'll add a new piano selector, and in your @media query, and set the width to 358 pixels. Okay. So now within the media query, add the keys. Okay. So now we have the keys class selector, width to 318 pixels. Okay. Now add a logo selector. Set the width probably to 150 pixels. Alright, so now whenever it reduces, as you can see, it does this. So I'm sure we're gonna do something about that. You might have noticed that the keys collapse when the browser window is smaller than 768. Set overflow to hidden. So hidden in the first key selector, and take care of this issue. This property will hide any element that is pushed outside the set width value of keys. So, gosh dang it. So we do this. See, now it's set to this. See, remember how they were all out here? Well, now they're hidden, so it can't be seen. So it makes it just smaller. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And we got two more. So Logical operators can be used to construct more complex media queries. The AND logical operator is used to query two media conditions. For example, a media query that targets a display width between 500 pixels and 1000 pixels would be this example right here. The min width is everything from this minimum width and above, and the max width is from this maximum width and below. So add another rule. We'll media, and then we'll do a min width. Set to 500. No, we want the minimum width to be 769 pixels, and we also want a max width of 1199 pixels. Okay. So there we go. So the minimum width is 769, max width is 1199. So now, new rules. Set the width of okay. So piano. We'll set the width of the piano to 675 pixels. Keys is a class, so the keys element will do a width keys to 633 pixels. There we go. So now if you can see, it's big. Then when it gets to this, it goes a little lower, and then it gets to the lowest here. So see that? So depending on how, you know, your text looks, you can condense it this way. And see, you always want to set your conditions here. Like, you'll want to set all your conditions outside these media queries. And then, for specifics, you want to add, like, you know, all right, I need to change the width to this of these whenever these are applied. Like, you just want to make minimal changes when that's happening, or like whatever kind of changes you want. So with that, as you can see, the piano is complete. We did this in a good half an hour's time, so awesome job. That's great. Think we're good. And so the next time we come in here, the only thing we have to do is the project. So if we continue on, check the code, looks great. And now, as you can see, when we come back, we will be doing the technical documentation page, which we will be developing a technical document here. Okay. And we have all of these conditions that we'll have to meet with the nav link, nav bar, section elements, styling this however we would like. And we'll be definitely using media queries when we do this. So, all right. So it needs to be functionally similar to this when we do it. So let's do like a little look here. So as you can see, there's a scrolling end over on the right. We have here. So whenever you click, it brings us to where you want. So JavaScript Java, hello, world, if else statements. So if you can see this technical documentation here. So this is JavaScript documentation, which, you know, we'll get into, but it's a good point to show. Like, you can see kind of the border radiuses on here. You can see, you know, the H2 headings here, I believe. Then you have your H1 heading for the JS documentation with the navigation bar on the side, and then you have all your buttons that go to each different area. So yeah, that is what we will be doing next time. And depending on how big this gets, we can divide it out into sections. Like we can do part 1 on one day and part 2 on another day, just depending on how much time this is going to take, which this will take a decent amount of time, so be prepared for that. But yeah, I think we'll wrap this up. So we've learned some intermediate CSS, and we have learned how to do some responsive design. So with media queries. So yeah, I think we did pretty well. All right. So this will be uploaded to the YouTube channel, and it will be up on Twitch for I believe it'll remain for 5 days, something like that. So anything, you ever miss something or anything you want to do that, just go ahead and pop over to the YouTube channel and, go have a look. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for sticking around. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the usual people for coming back and, continuing to do this. If you are doing this, even if you're just following along, that's great. Or just wanting to hear me talk. But yeah. So, that's it for tonight. You guys rest easy. I will see you all again here soon. Hopefully. All right. Have a good night.